US and Chinese officials on Monday agreed to a 90-day pause in their trade war, rolling back most recent tariffs. The US will lower its tariff rate on Chinese goods from 145% to 30%, while China will reduce its rate to 10%. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called the earlier tariffs the equivalent of an embargo, and China's Commerce Ministry hailed the deal as an important step for both countries and the global economy.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect.
The new 30% US tariff on Chinese goods remains higher than the 27% imposed on Indian products. In his April 2nd Liberation Day speech, President Trump called the tariff on Indian imports a kind reciprocal move in response to India's 52% duty on US goods. Meanwhile, China has tightened export controls on rare earths, some vital to the defense sector, and expanded its list of restricted American companies.
Over the last month or so, we've been in discussion with a lot of pharmaceutical companies. Now, you will notice that it's one of India's largest exports to the US, and we're really concerned that that industry does not get adversely impacted by either reciprocal tariff or is adequately covered in the bilateral trade agreement. Now, in many of them, actually the API, the active pharmaceutical ingredient, actually comes from China. And India does a value addition to that. What China has done, and it's impacted a whole lot of industry, is some kind of an export embargo on critical minerals, which actually has a whole lot of EV-related business in the country almost coming to a standstill. So opening up this trade actually increases the opportunity for every country to try and add to its GDP and export potential, rather than say that, we are going to lose out on.
Indian exporters, particularly in textiles and pharmaceuticals, have benefited as US buyers shifted away from Chinese goods. However, the full impact of the complex tariffs and trade penalties imposed by Washington and Beijing is yet to unfold. Much will depend on whether both sides can bridge their long-standing differences during the 90-day truce.